Thank you for joining Kathy Gen X, where we think that diagramming sentences needs to make a comeback. Did you guys diagram sentences back in the day?
We did. And then in college, I had to learn the new way to diagram sentences.
So don't be careful with your phone, because I'm going to ask a question right now. I know you have material here, but he just made me think of something.
Yeah.
Open your phone and open up your internet browser.
Okay.
I want to know, my wife thinks I'm an animal. I currently have 21 windows open.
Oh, but I have more than that.
272.
We need to get you some medication.
272.
And you probably look at, about 4 of those actively? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got stuff I'm saving, and I'm never going to get back to it. Maybe. I would recognize a picture of him more than... This is great radio.
I have probably about 20. And I actually cut some of them down.
Yes.
No, actually, that's wrong. 41.
Part of it is like you click on something, instead of overwriting, it just opens a new window.
Well, do you ever like an email or something, and you'll click on it and be like, I'll read that, I'll look at that later, and then that window will be open for months. Right. In your case, probably years.
So, Tom, I was thinking back in the day when you were in high school, and maybe it was...
no more tips, we're recording.
Had a football game or something, had a big night coming back, and it was like part of your Friday night tradition, coming back, fun night, watch a little bit of Headbangers Ball.
Oh, yes, but was that Friday night or Saturday night?
Maybe it was both. I don't know.
Maybe it was both. But yes, so I don't remember necessarily football games, but yeah, I would go out on a date, whatever I did that night, and then I'd have to be home.
Have on like a lot of Polo cologne and Drakkar coming back.
Weren't there like
Aramis?
Was it Friday night videos that was on like network TV?
It was.
Yeah, for a while. You're right. Yeah, but no, I think Headbangers Ball was Saturday night, but yes, I absolutely would.
And they used to also have, not as good, I'm not even making the same comparison. Wasn't like USA had like dance party, that kind of...
USA did have some sort of music video show.
And there was like a generic, like local kind of videos too that wasn't high quality of either. Definitely wasn't.
See, I didn't watch that because I watched USA until they stopped carrying Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Then Tom had no interest in the whole network.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Wrote it off.
Well, he got a restraining order, so yeah.
But yes, John, to answer your question, yes, I watched Headbangers Ball.
Because I mean, back in the day, that was a pretty big deal. Give you an idea what new cassettes to buy for.
Yep.
What kind of cars did you drive in high school?
You want them in order? My very first car was a this would have been in 1992. 91, 92. It was a 1981 Ford Escort.
Oh, the hatchback.
Yeah, and
that's great.
And you guys remember 10-year-old cars then were not like 10-year-old cars now.
No.
So this thing, the paint had zero gloss.
Right.
It was tan, and it had rust spots all over it.
Nice.
So my friends called it the Cheetah.
Of course.
So that was my first car that was like mine to drive whenever. And then after that, I had a white Mercury Topaz.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're a little bit better.
Yeah, it's 2 doors. Kind of fast. It was a 5-speed.
Yeah.
It was a sport model.
A friend of mine's ex-girlfriend, he was dating her at the time. It was a manual.
Yeah, and then I wrecked
Tempo
that.
or Topaz, one of the two.
It is the same car, just one was Ford, one was Mercury. And then I wrecked that, and I had a 4-door Topaz. And my dad was like, he let me pick out a car. I think I was a senior at this point. I was a senior. And he's like, you sure that's what you want? 4-door sedan, Grandpa? He actually said that to me. He's like, I was willing to get you something a little sportier. And I'm like, no, that'll be good.
Well,
old soul, John.
And you got married a couple of years after that, didn't you? Pretty much.
Yeah, I was dating what would become my wife at the time. Yeah, we got
Who would become your wife?
Okay.
I was dating who would
That's
become
right.
my
We need
wife.
to go back
I
to
was
diagramming.
dating the young lady that I would go on to marry.
You need more diagramming time to be able to get the grammar correct.
My youngest son is wanting to know, what do I want in my Qdoba?
Wow, this is riveting.
Right?
For listeners, I had an 84 Dodge Colt.
Okay.
Which, to say it was a piece of junk was probably an understatement. And so bad of where it caught on fire.
Oh.
While you were driving it, please say yes.
One time I was driving on the highway going to work, summer, like coming back from college. And I was like, gosh, it's awful windy, and it didn't have any air conditioning. So I knew something was up. I looked in my rearview mirror, it's like, what's all this stuff blowing on the interstate? It was flyers my brother had for his business. The hatchback had broken open. and all like the flyers blowing all over 65.
So your brother had for his business?
Yeah, he did.
It's like a DJ business?
Kind of.
He did skate parties.
It was he owned a gym like in Whiteland. So that's kind of about the same, I think, in some ways. Old Whiteland, not new Whiteland.
Right.
So did he wear skin tight sweatpants, a T-shirt that he had cut the sleeves off of, and a weightlifting belt?
He wasn't a PE teacher.
PE teachers didn't wear weightlifting belts.
He actually would come to some parties we had in college, and he would have the bib overalls cut off like the bottoms of shorts.
Yeah.
So I mean that was looking pretty good back in the early 90s. So, but the car caught on fire where a friend of mine. So it was very cold and snowy. Started the car, and my friend was like, this car is a piece of junk, and I was like, Christine doesn't like it when you talk to her that way. And so he's like, is somebody smoking here? What is that? And it's like, it was John, get out, your car's on fire. So I get out, and the car was on fire underneath it. So he was trying to throw snow in there. And my roommate, Tom, I've talked about Tom, walked in. He was watching some Chinese soap opera. I was like, Tom, you got to hurry up, get some water. He goes, my car's on fire. And I'm grabbing, a bowl of water, running back out. And my friend Ken's, throwing snow on it. I'm expecting to blow up. He's going to die. I run to get more water, and Tom's still there just eating. I said, Tom, you understand? If you don't care about Ken, the building's going to be on fire. And he just kind of sat there and just kept watching the show. But we eventually got it under control.
This conversation could go so many ways for it not being recorded.
Right.
Yes.
I had a car about that same age, an 84 Ford Fiesta.
Oh, yeah.
That the gas gauge didn't work. And
The only car ever made smaller than the Escort.
Yes. And, back then I was a skinny young man, and I used to joke it weighed 200 pounds with me sitting in it. Every bump, every piece of gravel you went over, you felt it in the whole car. So.
I believe that. So, well, gentlemen, Lent is upon us.
Yes.
A new liturgical season. Tom, how's your Lent going?
I always feel like a failure.
Okay, go on.
I just do. I just always feel like a failure.
Well, I mean, Lent is a little bit about, it's a penitential time. I mean, it's kind of seeing what you did wrong. I don't think that's all of what you're saying, but...
No, I think... you remember the scene in Christmas Vacation when Ellen says that Clark just builds things up and then it sets standards. So I think every year I go into the Lent with this feeling that's going to be...
This is the year you become a saint.
Yeah, and it just never happens.
So it just kind of tanks after that and start strong and just...
I always go in... You know me, I'm an idea guy.
You are.
Execution isn't always... And so I go in with some ideas and I don't know.
So far for me, it's going pretty well. I mean, I've really committed to a couple things I'm doing. I'm doing the stations every day. And then
which is less hardcore than the time you decided you were going to daily mass every day.
I did do that. That was actually one of my best Lents ever. I haven't done that since. I think it was my current spiritual director or my former. It's like, well, if it was so good, why don't you do it again? It's so well.
It was way too much work.
I mean, it's like, you can do that. I mean, so really part of it is my schedule. I could do it, but at the cost of not seeing people for therapy, which isn't good. But doing that and doing some technology fasts and all that's going really well. I try not to do too many things because I think it becomes hard. I don't know if you have a list of things.
Yeah, that's so. The way my daily, I get up and read every morning. The way that started was actually Lent, and that's carried on for years now.
Well, I do the little black book that Marriage puts out, which is great. Daily Reflections.
Yeah.
That's
We
really
don't put it out. We just buy it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You thought they made that?
No.
Speaking of which, this is fascinating. It's going to bore everybody but me. I ordered, I'm reading it right now. I ordered last week Fulton Sheen's The Life of Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Good book if you've not read it.
Fulton Sheen's great.
So I'm flipping through, seeing how much I've got left, and it says that it's dated March 13th, 2025. So I thought that's weird. Did you know some Amazon books are printed on demand?
Oh.
And so this book was printed on demand. I went and looked, and it's in there. It was printed on demand.
That's pretty neat.
It's a very cost-effective way to do it.
Yeah. That fascinated me that book was so. Sorry.
So I think there is a heaviness of entering into Lent, we have Fat Tuesday and things like that, whooping it up, and then just it's very sobering.
Not
very
big
somber.
on that.
I never really knew. I mean, I knew about Mardi Gras and stuff like that, but I never really made a big deal about.
So where are you on Sundays in Lent? Do you do the whole it's a day of rest and you don't have to worry about it? Because I was raised that it's the whole. Like
No,
you
Lent
gave
is-
up candy. You
Lent
gave
is
it
40
up.
days. If you count the Sundays, then it would be 46 days.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're on the you can eat jelly beans on
Right.
Sunday.
See, I am now, but
You didn't have my German Catholic grandma.
No.
well, and my mom had, like, at least the way I remember it was like Ash Wednesday until Easter Sunday, and you didn't get like whatever you gave up. And she's like, I never said that. And it's like, are you sure? Because I mean, I feel like I'm just coming to this like in the last probably 10 years. So we do that where it's not a cheat day. It's kind of a mini Easter every Sunday, and you get a break.
That's theologically. I mean, I think that's correct. Every Sunday is a commemoration of Easter, and so it is. Father Andy Seiberg likes to say, "Is the tomb not empty?
There
Get
you
a
go.
steak."
There you go.
Right.
That's right. So one of our listeners, Nick, who sent me a text message about this, was talking about, can
Getting
you?
a lot of messages.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the word's getting out there. I'm not getting letters, but I'm getting whatever version they'll actually communicate. Can you save up your Sundays?
No.
Ooh, that's starting to sound like indulgences there.
Right.
So, I mean, and it was a very
I
reasonable
love it.
question.
This is the most Catholic question we've ever got.
I've given up alcohol for Lent, and I'm
Right.
going on spring breaks, and I go ahead and just take all 6 Sundays and put them all
No.
together.
True story. My senior year of high school, I went on spring break with another family, Catholic, pretty devout family. And where we were for spring break, there was a prime rib special on Good Friday. So we celebrated Good Friday on Saturday.
Filthy. Filthy.
That's another 10 years of purgatory time. So,
I was a kid. I was an invited guest, John.
well, then it's on your parents or whoever else. So.
His parents.
His parents, yeah. That's similar years of purgatory. Probably 20 because like what he did to the kids.
So I read this morning, maybe in the Little Black Book, that it used to be that you could only confess mortal sins one time. So people wait
Yeah,
until
but it
they thought
used
they
to
were
be
going to
like
die.
we're talking like the 4th century.
Yeah, and it said, and penance was public.
Yeah.
And it would last like years.
a year. Yeah. So you'd go in Lent, and you'd go and confess your sins in front of the church. Now there were
Sound like
only
an altar
three.
call.
There were only 3 sins that needed sacramental confession. Then
Okay.
adultery,
Okay.
murder,
Okay.
and apostasy.
God, it was so much easier back then.
you would have been fine.
So then the priest would, or the bishop would, hear your confession and install you into what was called the Order of Penitence. And then you and your fellow sinners would stand out in front of the church every Sunday, and as the good people went into church, you would ask them to pray for you, and then you would be reconciled towards the following Easter.
So, give us an example of apostasy.
Apostasy, remember this is like ancient days. So apostasy is the Romans said, offer some incense to Caesar, and you were like, all right, I don't want to lose my job, I don't want to get killed.
Okay, that's fairly okay.
Right, it's
so I
serious.
can see that one.
Right.
But the others, I mean, you're going to stand up there and be like,
They're considered, so murder and adultery are considered obviously serious sins, but they're also like, you do it once, all right, well,
It happens.
It happens. But like murder twice is just sloppy. Like,
what is... No, I'm not going to ask.
and it's murder. It's not homicide. It's not reckless endangerment. It's murder.
So it's almost like symbolically of where they confess the sin publicly, and essentially they're in purgatory.
Right.
And like the faithful people of God going to heaven have to pray for them.
Right.
Eventually be
Because they're
released.
Exactly
Okay.
right.
What a standard, though. Well, I didn't murder anybody.
They didn't have Pew studies back then, but I wonder. I mean, so I guess if you keep the bar so so low in some ways, if you have to do some pretty bad things,
Right.
I mean, was everybody like really scared and then actually trying to live a good holy life, or was it they were just like getting away with everything? That we probably
Didn't murder somebody.
That's right. I'm okay. That's right. I just stole your cow, but I mean.
then this all changed in the Dark Ages with the Irish monks. And this
Freaking
is
Irish.
part of my thesis on
Always.
how the Irish ruined civilization. So the Irish monks, got bored in their monasteries and they started traveling around, and they carried with them these huge books of penances. And so, like, every sin had a corresponding penance, and they
Got a good joke like this.
they began to offer this kind of private confession, encouraging you to really search your conscience and confess everything, and then they'd give you these outlandish penance, like bread and water for a year, or walk to Santiago de Compostela, or
It was just bored old bitter priests just playing games with
See,
people,
but you
wasn't it?
can't be angry at the Irish because, I mean, the Middle Ages, there wasn't much learning. They were really trying to illuminate, the Europe in the Dark Ages, and I mean,
Yeah,
there's actually some seminaries I've heard of that where they have an interest. Maybe not going back to that far, but the old school based in the confessional case. So avarice, blah blah blah. Going to look up the sin. Here's your penance. I mean, there's still some rumblings. Yeah. Well, that was for more of the obscure stuff from the seminaries.
Well,
that were listening.
yeah, but the penances were outrageous. I mean, bread and water for a year. Crazy.
But
So
had the
then
Irish
did
already
you-
been through enough, though, Father Peter?
Then did you have to go to confession and be like, hey, I didn't really do my penance because that was stupid?
What happened was the church ruled, mistakenly, I think, that you could transfer your penance. As long as it was completed, you personally did not have to complete it. So rich people began forcing their serfs into doing their penances for them.
Was Pepin involved in this?
He might have been.
Wow.
Just know that society is broken down. The
So
good old days.
you're like, I can't eat bread and water for a year. I have the king's banquet to attend. So you call in one of your tenant farmers and be like, if you eat bread and water for a year on my behalf, I'll give you 5 gold pieces. And,
Wow.
Right?
It's quite the deal back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and if you get 5 Our Fathers, oh gosh, that's a lot.
So
It's
I-
not bread and water for a year. So.
I told Father Peter this. I was traveling, and on Ash Wednesday, I went to confession, and I'm allowed to disclose this, right? Because it's mine.
Yeah.
My penance was to pray for all the children in the world who have been abused by their parents, and I thought that was an oddly specific penance.
Well, it depends what you confessed.
Well, I didn't confess abusing my children.
What are you doing to your kids being mean?
Now,
to
what
them,
what are they telling you? That's
right.
What are they telling you?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've had some of those of where pray for more peace and stuff like that too. Some are specific, but usually, I usually go to my spiritual director, so I get.
So we have a local family who went to Lourdes over the holidays.
Yeah.
And the group has a great story about all going to confession together. And everybody came out and their penance, and one person got to do 10 rosaries. Everybody's like, wow!
Ridiculous. A penance should, most of the time, and I mean 90% or more of the time, should be able to be finished before you leave the church.
Wow, so you might have to stay in the church for a year eating nothing but bread and water.
Those were the bad old days with the Irish.
Yeah. So you should be done by the. So is this something new in the church? The penance, not being so severe.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'm weird. I acknowledge that.
Okay.
I have thought before, if I were a priest, I think confession would maybe be one of my favorite things.
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Why
I do love it. I also get irritated by it, but I love it.
Yeah.
I get irritated when people come in who don't seem to have done any preparation. And I'm like, I'm here to listen, not to tell you what you did, or you need to put some thought into this.
You and I had a confession like that one time.
You can't
I know
say.
you can't disclose that, but I can. I've disclosed it before in the podcast.
So when you say not ready, little when they hit the door, they're just now starting to think about what their
Right.
sins are, kind
Right.
of fumbling around. Well, you have talked about, so that's one kind. The other kind is where, so back when it all started when I was in kindergarten.
Oh my gosh, yes. The stories.
What are your sins? So hold on, Father. I got to give you some context. And so my great aunt, Mabel said,
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, the thing I'm guilty of is kind of I haven't murdered anybody. I haven't slept with my neighbor's wife, and I haven't burned anything
Right.
to Apollo. So I'm not dumb enough to think I haven't committed any sins. But I come in there, I'm like, it's just hard for me to come up with something that's confession worthy. I know I have. It's
So
just
you can Google examination of conscience.
I've done that, and it doesn't. I've done that.
Have you Googled virtue-based examination of conscience?
Probably not.
That's what you should do. And it looks at the virtues and how we have failed to live out the virtues instead of looking at the Ten Commandments.
Yeah. So that's generally what the confession is like. I know I've been lustful. I know
Right.
I've been less than forthright. I know I haven't been as generous. This general sense of I know I've done all these things, but I lied 3 times.
Yeah, so the church encourages us to confess by number and kind, but I'm not concerned really about the number. I don't know. There are priests who would get on me for that and say that I absolutely should be, but I think if you know this is a general character flaw, I'm all forever confessing that I got short with people.
That doesn't sound right. No. When does this happen?
I need a new podcast. If anybody listening wants to start a podcast and be just decent to me, let me know. I will come.
Must have got blackballed from All Set for Sunday.
That's right.
No, I was just on there the other week.
Yep. So
We've taken this off the rails, haven't we? This isn't the direction you want to go.
No, this is all things I think that people think about for Lent. So is it so you talk about not the things you're sacrificing, giving up, Tom, for Lent, your penance. So if you,
So what I've done is I have decided instead to focus on a virtue. This is a virtue that I need to try to live more.
Good.
Do you want to share what that is? I don't know I can guess what it's not. Judging by today,
that I've tried to live more intentional.
Yeah.
I had a hard time coming up with that word.
Intentionally, it's that stroke I had a few minutes ago when I said who instead of whom.
You said what instead of who.
Okay,
That's true. Your short-term memory's bad as well. So,
it's because I'm English. I'm Elizabethan English.
What?
But so, and I think this comes up for people if Tom slips up or doesn't do something, that isn't a sin. Well, it depends on what you do. So if it's you're going to read the little black book every day and you forget, that's not a sin.
Yeah, so we had this question kind of in RCIA the other week.
I don't think so. I don't think that's a sin.
And because somebody got upset that I mentioned that eating meat on a Friday in Lent was probably sinful.
Yes.
And they got very upset and, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, you need to look at it from this perspective, that we've kind of made a promise. And we've said that we would do as the church asked us to do, including abstaining from meat on Fridays. Mm-hmm. And so when we choose to eat meat on Fridays, we're breaking our promise, and that is a sin. And so I don't know if you made a commitment to reading the little black book. I don't think it's a mortal sin, but breaking our commitments is a promise, or is a sin. So.
But it's not the precepts of the church of what you have to do to get to heaven.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
So eating
not.
meat,
Right.
fasting, for specific days is different.
Yes.
Although we're always supposed to be doing some kind of penance every Friday.
Every Friday.
Even when it's, not like Fridays during Lent or Ash Wednesdays.
Have you met my family, John?
Well, but I mean, that's something I didn't really know.
Yeah,
I got to be older.
Fairly recently that I learned that.
Yeah, I mean, so...
Again, it's back to what we talked about a while ago, that poor formation of our church.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe I did learn that. I don't remember, but I don't think I ever heard it. So that part. But I do think that people wonder, those kinds of questions and things like that, too.
So... I've always, in the Protestant world, you're my encyclopedia for all things Protestant. The giving up or the intentionally doing things during Lent, that's really not much of a thing, is it?
No. And the people who do it, that's a relatively recent, like in the last 20, maybe 25 years. When I was growing up, no Protestant would have considered engaging in Lenten practices. That was some of the weird Catholics did.
But it's scriptural.
It is, yes.
So our friends and neighbors, both were Baptists, one was Catholic, came back to church. His wife kindly came to the stations last Friday, which was awesome. And so I tried to, with what little I know about biblical scholarship, talked about that basically where this is in some part Jesus going in the desert. This is this is all very scriptural. It's not just Catholics kind of cooked something up. They sounded to be kind of hard. A lot of the traditions and practice of Lent, are all rooted in Scripture. It's not just made up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I don't know what you thought, but because I don't think that even though the Catholics are not generally very good at knowing Scriptures intimately,
right? As
Protestants, what we do is all very scripturally based.
I've heard so many ex-Catholics tell me, when I say, well, ones who left the Catholic Church and joined a Protestant church, and well, why did you choose this church, or why leave? And I never heard the Word of God when I went to Mass, and I'm like, were you not listening to any of it? It's
called the Liturgy of the Word,
right?
Well, so my brother left, and he said, "Well, Catholics don't read the Bible." Well, that's not true. You didn't while you were Catholic, but that doesn't mean that Catholics don't.
Here's what we should implement as the church then. We should make it mandatory, if you're going to go to any other church that isn't a Catholic church, you have to have an exit interview.
Right.
And let me tell you how you're wrong.
Right.
Tell me the reasons why you're leaving. These are the reasons why you need to be thinking about this, and we actually have this. It's right here, right now.
Right.
This sounds a lot like Festivus.
It does. It does a little bit. Feats of Strength, exit interview.
Yeah, the airing of the grievances.
That's right. All right, couple more listener texts and questions I've received.
This is shocking.
We're a highly interactive podcast now.
This feels planted.
I think...
we're like that reality show that is clearly not reality. It's all very scripted, but I feel like that's what we are.
Is there a specific reality show you have?
All of them.
All of them, yeah.
Okay, so one question we got, and I already said the answer to this person, but just to fact check with our resident pastor. So it doesn't count for Sunday Mass if you're watching Mass in your car, then you go inside for communion.
Oh, no. No.
That was a legit question?
It was, and he really didn't want to know the answer.
Do I know this person?
You probably have met him. I'm not sure you have.
So they sit outside and watch it on YouTube?
No, I think what it was is not like... It's like they're driving, running late. They turn Mass on, watching it as they're en route. And then they get there at least before Holy Communion, and they go up and receive.
Ooh. So that happened to me one time. Through no fault of my own, I was late getting there, and I walked in, and just the way it worked out, I walked right into the back of the communion line and on up.
I would give you points for, making it, right? But, let's not set that as a acceptable alternative.
How do you feel about the people who never return to their pew after communion?
Yeah, it's like here I get another dig on the Irish.
Yeah.
It's an Irish goodbye at your mom has you over for dinner and you just you're done eating and you just get up and walk out.
Yeah.
You need to stay for the rest of the experience.
Yeah.
And why don't you want God's blessing?
Right. So so when I was a kid, it was always, if you're not there for the final blessing, it doesn't count.
I wouldn't go that far, but... Yeah.
But my grandmother, who had very strong opinions...
Is one step beneath God.
She, you couldn't leave until the last note of the song was over.
Oh.
If you left before the song was over...
When the priest released you, the Mass is technically over, right?
Right.
The final blessing?
Right.
What if you walk out in front of him?
Well, get out of my way, but...
That's right. His MCs will walk all over you, so...
That's true. Saturday night we had 10... high school
you
MCs.
had a total of 19 kids on
19
the altar.
kids, yeah.
I counted.
It's outstanding. Okay, so the next question was, the listener, Mike, was talking about, I listened to your podcast on priest assignments. The one question you didn't cover was, quote, why they uprooted the priest. At least I don't think you covered it. Father Peter said it was sad for him when he leaves. I'm guessing it's sad for most of the congregation. So why?
I think I can answer this.
Okay, go for it.
So is it just an Arch-Indy rule or is it a church-wide rule?
The Code of Canon Law of 1983 says that a pastor can either be appointed for life.
You're not going to let me show off.
Oh, sorry.
12 years.
Yes.
Or terms.
If your next 12 years carries you beyond your retirement age, you can elect to stay in your current assignment.
That is the policy of the Archdiocese.
Okay.
But yes, it can be, like there are some dioceses who have 5-year terms, but yeah. So we get moved because, is there a diplomatic way to say this?
Well, there's got to be lots of reasons.
Primarily, the bishops wanted terms so that they could attempt to prevent priests from either kind of creating their own little kingdom in the parish.
Cult of personality, sure.
Cult of personality, or to be able to intervene if the parish was growing stale under a particular priest. It's not all that. It's just 4 more years, and then we can just move him then or whatever. So
you can't be ordained and say to the bishop and the personnel board, I want this parish for my life. I'm going to be a lifer.
No, especially not our bishop. He really believes in the terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty rare to have a priest at a parish longer than 2 terms. Is one term 12 years or 6 years?
6 years.
So 2 terms.
Right.
Well, but like our previous pastor, a new assignment would have taken him to a new church, so he was allowed to stay longer, right?
Right.
And so he would have
He
retired
went 17
in the middle.
years. Yeah.
I mean, so knowing a lot of priests, I think what I hear is because you naturally develop, personal relationships with parishioners. I think there's
Soft
a sad
priests do.
well,
Hardcore ones like me.
That's right. I'm just here for the sacrament.
Remember, John,
and
we
to
are-
run this business.
We are nothing more than his parishioners.
That's right. So, I mean, other priests will feel kind
And
of
now
sad
that we know you
and
don't even
whatnot.
have to be Catholic.
Right.
That's right. To just get on the books. So, hard, and I think some, it could be they like, a new parish and
It
a
is.
challenge. I mean,
I've never left an assignment without crying.
oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I learned about you recently. You're kind of like me. You cry at odd stuff.
I do cry at odd stuff. Like that Extreme Home Makeover show.
Yes.
I like when the family is running through the house, seeing all the work that's been done, weeping.
So I would assume if you have a priest that's just not, for whatever reason, it just is not a good fit at a parish.
Right.
The bishop would move them.
So the bishop can always ask, and I think for the most part, a good priest is always responsive to his bishop's request. Or the bishop can force, but he needs a really good reason to back up a forcible move for a pastor. Because then the pastor could complain to Rome and overturn the bishop.
So what if a situation is there's an opening someplace else for any number of reasons,
Right.
and the bishop feels like you in particular are a good fit for
Right.
this parish that needs
So the
somebody.
bishop can ask, if I'm midterm and not at the end of my term and up to be moved anyway, the bishop can ask, but if I'm midterm, I have the power to say no. I
Where
have
does
the
your
right.
vow of obedience come in with this?
Well, that's why I said I think for the most part, a good priest is receptive to his bishop's request and would say, let me pray about it, but yeah, I'm open to it.
Yeah. Well, in this day and age with just priest shortages in most dioceses, I mean, it's, pastorships are combining of parishes and
Right.
things, and priests may be called upon, specific priests that had different kinds of gifts to take on more parishes, maybe the average pastor.
Yeah, and like I haven't, in my current assignment, I haven't taken on another parish, but I've taken on extra diocesan work.
Well, you got 3 other jobs, don't you?
Right.
Or 2 other jobs?
2 others, yeah.
You had 3 for a
Yeah.
short time. Yeah. So, he doesn't sleep. He's just doing all for the people
I don't
of
know
God.
if you know this, John. His life is a gift.
That is true.
is.
That is a true
It
story.
is. Well, we hope the listeners have a great Lent.
Right.
Stay with it.
Please,
Yeah.
have a better Lent than
That's
me.
right. So, thank you for listening. Be sure to email us at catholicgenx@gmail.com or handwritten letters at P.O. Box 17333, Indianapolis 46217. We're hoping to get one soon.